Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time for Ben. Thank you so much. Uh, this is for episode 3 and 4 of True Detective, Season 1. A show he's requested before, and I've been enjoying the episodes so far. Where Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are two detectives in the South investigating this crime involving sort of cult-like things going on. A body was found of a prostitute with a weird antler type of thing attached to her, and the show is also more about these different types of characters where Matthew McConaughey is a very cynical person who has been through a lot, and he kind of looks at the world in a very dark, cynical way, but he's also pretty damn smart person as well, while Woody Harrelson, he's more jovial compared to Matthew McConaughey, but he's also cheating on his wife with this girl who's his mistress, and trying to separate boundaries with work and what's going on here. And they definitely have gone deep into the characters. And if you want to know my thoughts on the first two episodes, they are on the channel. Just go to the channel and type in True Detective. But going to episode 3, previously they found these markings on this abandoned church, so the two detectives go and talk with the church where they're at right now. And Matthew McConaughey's cynical about this whole thing about, well, if the common good has to make up fairy tales, then it's not good for anybody. Or if the only thing keeping a person decent is expecting the divine reward, then they're a piece of shit. I'd rather get them out in the open, and you're good because you're good, not because you're expecting some reward. And like talking to Woody Harrelson, yeah, you're obsessive. That's true, but it's not about this job. And like they talk about the theories about what's going on. Woody Harrelson thinks maybe it's this one person who's a bit out there, and maybe he made a mistake. And meanwhile, Matthew McConaughey's going on about, well, no, this person seems like he wanted us to find him. Maybe he did this before in the past. And I would say I didn't mind the episode 3. I would say of the first 4 episodes, if I have a least favorite, it would be this one so far. There's good stuff in it. I did like it, but it just seemed like not a whole lot was happening. And now I'm kind of waiting for to move it along a bit faster, a bit like pick up the pace a little bit more with this investigation. Kind of seems like we're kind of pussyfooting around a little bit, but I still like the what they're doing with the characters, the growing tension between Woody Harrelson and his wife, played by Michelle Monaghan, who's a good actress. He's jealous of his mistress because he sees her with another guy, and he gets into her place, and she's pissed about it. What the fuck are you doing? Michelle Monaghan has this kind of weird, like, friendship developing. Maybe not weird, but this friendship developing with Matthew McConaughey's character, where like he was over mowed Woody Harrelson's lawn, and Woody's like, I like mowing my lawn. It's interesting because Woody and McConaughey, they're on the verge of being at each other's throats. There's an interesting, like, tension-filled dynamic between the two characters. And then Woody Harrelson's like, he's jealous of his mistress, even though he's cheating on his wife, so he has no room to talk, and it is a flawed individual. But again, there's interesting writing in terms of that. Or like when Matthew McConaughey's talking with Woody's wife, Michelle Monaghan, and McConaughey goes, that's because we know what we want, and we don't mind being alone. Which he's got a point. He's looking more into the case. Hey, there's another girl. This might be another victim. There's an older victim, and she also was positive with meth and LSD, and maybe there's something going on with this, and maybe it's connected, and maybe it deals with this guy named Reggie, and kind of a weird last shot where you have this guy in his underwear with a gas mask and a machete, and you're like, what the fuck is this about? Where is this going? But again, I like the way the dialogue is written with Matthew McConaughey's character is very interesting to listen to hear this cynical person's view on life, whether in the past timeline or in the current timeline, where he's talking to the detectives about how people make this shit up, calling it fairy tales, things of that nature, and there's some interesting dialogue that definitely showcases more of the character, but it just seems like the investigation moved this far, if you didn't notice exactly, and it's more about this build-up to what happens in episode 4, where it's like a build-up to, oh, the mistress is going to tell the wife, and then Woody Harrelson is going to get dumped, goodbye, and it just, it's a build-up. For an episode that a lot of is build up and then the investigation didn't go that far. Just between all the other episodes, it just wasn't the most interesting. Well, that's the wrong way to phrase it. It wasn't the most exciting. It wasn't the most thrilling part so far. So, really enjoyed the first two. The episode 3 kind of dipped a bit. Again, there's some good stuff. I liked it, but I didn't love it. And then part 4 it picked up. Part 4 picked up because they go back and talk to the first victim's ex, who's in prison. This guy named Charlie. I thought that was a good scene where Charlie's like, well, yeah, this Reggie or what? Yeah, I showed him a picture of my girl. What? You think I got her killed? Like, there's some nice intensity and nice, just really solid acting all around. And just the way the two characters are, where they're driving home, and Woody's like, well, you didn't have to tell the guy that it's his fault. And McConaughey goes, yeah, when we first asked him, he was worried about his parole. Fuck him. I find it interesting, like, how you kind of pick and choose who you kind of, what was the phrase he used? That you kind of feel a bit sorry for. Maybe like a guy who is having his own drama going on, speaking of Woody's character. And lo and behold, he gets home, he finds a letter, his wife left him with the kids because the mistress told on him. And he tries to get her back, and Woody's just distraught. And very nice performance by Woody Harrelson. Very nice job. And then Matthew McConaughey, with the two of them, find out that this Reggie guy they're looking for cooked for this group called the Iron Crusaders, who McConaughey knew about him. He was dealing with that group back in the days of the drug DEA, not DEA, but undercover days of the drug circuit. And it's like, we need to get involved with this to talk to this guy to try to find where Reggie's at. And that's when, okay, finally things are ratcheting up a bit, where Harrelson's marriage is going kaput because his mistress told on him to his wife. McConaughey's going undercover with these bikers, and the bikers like, well, we want you to do this robbery with us, with these other bad guys, and then maybe I'll trust you. Also, fine, I'll do it. Before that, I liked the bit where McConaughey's like, listen, it's not my business what's going on with you and your wife. Honestly, I don't give a shit. But we have a possibility to get with these Iron Crusader guys and maybe find this Reggie guy. And then Woody Harrelson's like, you are like anytime I think you couldn't get any higher, your like assholeness, you're like the Michael Jordan of being a son of a bitch. And I will give credit to the direction and the mood and the score, where the last half of especially the finale of this episode, really brought out the tension, where when McConaughey goes with his group for this robbery, there's like a 6-minute take of no cuts where they go in, they get the drugs, things get screwed up, there's a firefight, and McConaughey has to grab this guy, twirl around. He knocks one guy in the throat, hits a gun that shoots another guy. These two guys come after him. He beats both of them up. He drives them around to get to Woody Harrelson's car. It's not Die Hard or anything. It's nothing like action hero mode. It's not that. If you go in there expecting a big action scene, it's not. It's more of a nice tension-fueled sequence. For a TV episode, pretty well done to do it all in a 6-minute take with no cuts and a lot of things going on where he's got to hide over here while these guys go over there and then get across his fence. Nicely done on the technical note. I don't really care for the song used at the end. I thought it kind of ruined the mood because it was like a, I don't know if I want to call it like a rock song. I thought it should have kept the moody tone of the score to lead off the episode. Or that's just my opinion on it. I think we're in this tension-fueled moment when they get into the car, they leave, and all of a sudden it goes to this. I forget what the song is. I don't even know if I construe it as a rock song, but I thought that kind of lessened the tension a little bit. But it was an episode I got a bit more invested in compared to episode 3. But again, episode 3, it was more about some of the conversations, especially from McConaughey. That's what kept me interested. Episode 4 is okay, now we're finally moving somewhere, stuff's finally happening. Again, I think that's a lot of times with these shows, they try to be 8 or 10 episodes. I'm like, you know what? You could probably do this in 5 or maybe 6. Tighten things up a bit, and I think it would be even stronger. A lot of these shows, it's like, no, you're being a movie, but you're a movie that's extended to 8 or 10 episodes. I think there are times where you can tighten it up. And it's like, you know. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the acting. The acting is very solid with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. These two guys that seem like they're at each other's throats, but then maybe this weird bond will associate itself as it goes forward. I wouldn't say they like each other, but they're like dealing with each other. And like where this mystery is going to lead to. And it does keep me intrigued to see where it's going next. And like it's a good looking show cinematography wise, and the 6-minute single take at episode 4 very nicely done on a directing note. And it does a nice job developing the characters. That's one thing of prominence to give with the show. It really does give these characters a 3-dimensional light. And you get some really nice, just fun to listen to the dialogue. Again, it's not the most exciting show. Although there's some excitement in episode 4 at the end, to be fair. It is not the fastest paced show. But overall, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Like I say, episode 3. Maybe because the whole thing with Woody Harrelson cheating on his wife. It's interesting because I'm intrigued by Woody Harrelson's character, but it's like, I don't really care about your mistress. But it's a means to an end that needs to happen. I understand. I guess by this, like, we're halfway through, because it's 8 episodes, and it feels like I haven't felt much of the investigation itself. Which I know that's kind of the point. It's more about the two main characters, but I do kind of wish I would have felt more about the investigation, kind of like a Manhunter, the movie Manhunter, where it's about the character, but it's also like I felt like I had more meat to the investigation, more meat to what's going on with the horrific underbelly of what's going on with the bad guy, or what the bad guy's doing, or what his means to the end of the villain is. And I guess I was like you watch Seven or Manhunter or others where you have character work, but it felt like more meat to the bones of that. And if we're halfway through it, it felt like I should have a lot more to that than I've gotten. Because the investigation seems like, just, well, maybe we'll talk to this person, and oh, maybe it's this Reggie guy. Okay, well, we gotta go all this off shit with these biker guys to get to this guy that maybe he knows where Reggie's at, and just but maybe that's one of the risky things about doing something that maybe could work as a movie, stretch it to 8 episodes. But yeah, I'm still interested. I'm still involved with what's going on, and I'm still intrigued by it. So, because the writing of the characters themselves, the two leads and the two performances, and the good look to cinematography, that's really tearing the show. Yeah, I just wish the story of the underbelly of the investigation and they're just a bit by now. But maybe that's just me. But overall, still liking it. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.